Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, today, I want to talk about DJ Akademiks saying that Lil Durk lied to him about an interview. Now, throughout the live, I think DJ Akademiks was on Twitch like he normally is. You know, he records himself. He speaks on certain situations. And he brought up the fact that Lil Durk pretty much promised him an interview, told him he rocked with him, he messed with him, whatever the case may be. And he expected Durk to give him an interview like he said he would, but he just never fell through with the interview. However, he did an interview with the Nelk boys, N-E-L-K, Nelk. They're pretty known, but they're not like urban. They're not like, they're not like the nitty gritty, like a Axe, a DJ Akademiks interview. He pretty much talked about that. And to be honest with you, I feel he kind of was. Act didn't seem like the normal Act. It seemed like he was taking it light. When I was listening to it, it made it seem like, he made it seem as if like he's being optimistic about the interview. Like it's gonna happen, he just don't know, but he feels it's gonna happen. He wasn't, I don't know, I can't really explain it. He just wasn't the same Act. Usually when somebody tell Act they're gonna do something and they don't, Act usually blast them or whatever the case may be. But Act was pretty conservative this time around. And he pretty much was saying that he don't care about the interview because he know Durk is gonna do it. However, if he really didn't care about it, I feel he wouldn't mention it. He wouldn't talk about it. So I don't know. But we gonna get into it, man. I want to talk about that real quick, and then because I actually do feel that a DJ Akademiks and Lil Durk interview is good. However, the timing, everything is about timing, and right now I feel personally it's not the time for it. However, I guess Akademiks feel like he wants that interview, and it would be big for DJ Akademiks because I feel everybody will be tuned in, just like the whole Cairo, No Limit Cairo interview with your boy 16 Shine Visual. So we're gonna get into all that, man, but before we do, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And I swear it's lit here. So join one of the latest gangs on YouTube so you can stay updated with some of the realest content. Now let's get straight into it. Now, DJ Akademiks, man. Now, Act said that Durk actually hit him up and guaranteed that he actually would do an interview with him. He said that Durk expressed that he rocked with him despite what they say on social media, and he's going to do an interview with him, right? And I feel personally that as a journalist, blogger, YouTuber, whatever you want to call Akademiks, he handled it pretty professionally. He described how Nelk's platform is a bigger platform, so Durk doing an interview with them is kind of understandable for the clout and promotion of his new album 7220 because it's a huge platform, right? But still, I feel that Act was making he was making some excuses for Durk and maybe overthinking the fact that even though Durk may have said he's going to do an interview, maybe he's not doing it. Maybe he's just, rocking him to sleep. I don't know. I feel Act is being optimistic about it, saying he believes Durk is going to do the interview, but it's going to be some time before Durk does it, 3 months. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I feel that right now a Durk and Akademiks interview is not going to happen, and I'm going to explain why. The type of questions that Akademiks is going to ask, Durk may not be ready for. Because let's be real, Akademiks was very instrumental to the drill culture in the very beginning with his whole War in Chirac channel. So he knows a lot about these artists, some of them in which he was reporting on before they were actually famous. And Durk is one of those guys. And I think Durk knows that. He knows a DJ Akademiks interview would be a classic. But for that same reason, he can't just sit there and do it right away. Because it's like two guys that was a part of the rise in the drill culture. People are heavily invested with it. The same people that grew up from the 2011, 2012 up until now, that's like a cult following. So they will all be tuned into it. So with that being said, Durk is hot right now. So he'll have to save that interview for when he's like cooled down and may need some type of exposure or to be put in a spotlight that way. You know, and that's just my personal opinion. Right now he's hot, so he's doing other things. You know, he not going to do that interview right now because he's focused on the music aspect of his album. You know, it's like a save the best for last thing. He's like holding that one in the chamber. It's like, you know, he got it on the side just waiting. All right, but once again, we also have to remember that the same questions Akademiks is capable of asking can either make or break Lil Durk as well. Because let's be real, we know that Ak is going to ask questions that a lot of other interviewers are either scared to ask or they just don't know enough of, you know, Lil Durk and his past and the whole drill culture to even ask him those questions. So if Lil Durk trying to sell an album right now, he knows that DJ Akademiks in the Akademiks interview isn't in his best interest. He'd rather focus on the bigger platforms and get closer to an audience that's going to glorify him more than the audience that's going to critique him. You know, and a lot of things he's been through in the past. You know what I'm saying? Because you know Ak is going to ask about the NBA Youngboy beef. You know he's going to ask about the 051 Melly, the infamous beef between 051 Melly, Durk, and Vaughn. You know he's going to talk about Durk's cousin Newski and what happened to him. And, you know, the whole alleged that Durk was actually there and ran. Like, it's a lot, man, that I feel Akademiks will ask that Lil Durk may not be ready for. You see what I'm saying? He's going to ask questions about Mimo. Just questions that the average interviewer won't and simply may be scared to ask because they either don't know, they're not informed, or they just don't want to be in Durk's bad standings like that. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's also people that believe that Durk is not going to do a DJ Akademiks interview because of his affiliation with 6ix9ine and NBA Youngboy, who are both not too fond of Lil Durk. But honestly, I don't feel that's true, and here's why. One thing I realize about these artists, they're selective with their quarrels. You know, they're selective with who they chose to beef with. They're selective with, you know, who they got tension with. They don't just hold everyone to the same standard, and here's why I say that. An artist will hold another artist accountable for supporting their ops. But if a journalist or a blogger does it, they'll kind of just chalk it up as it being their job, so they don't hold it against them because they feel that they have to do that. It's the business. You see what I'm saying? And also, let's be real, no one sees a journalist or a blogger as a threat. So personally, I feel that's why they don't really mind them being friends or kikiing with their ops. But if they was to see another artist with their ops, whether it's business or not, they're ready to automatically include them in their beef. They don't want to hear that it's business and all that. And we seen that with the baby. You see what I'm saying? The man told you already, yo, listen, I don't got nothing to do with y'all beef. I don't want no problems. I'm just here for the bread. This is what I'm doing it for. And people still included him in that beef. You see what I'm saying? And let's be real, we're not going to see a rapper beefing with a journalist or whatever because it's not cool to do. You're considered a lame for beefing with like a blogger or a journalist or something. You just won't catch rappers doing that. It's not the thing to do. You see what I'm saying? So, moving on. Akademiks explained that he actually felt more of a way about Chief Keef turning his interview down than he felt about Durk. And he said he asked Chief Keef to be on his podcast. Well, I don't know if he mentioned that in the live because I didn't watch the whole thing. But I know that he asked Chief Keef to be on his podcast, and Chief told him that he don't do interviews. But then, you know, he's seen Chief Keef doing interviews with other people. And Ak feels that he was a part of the whole drill circuit, and rightfully so, because he helped some of these guys as well as Chief Keef by painting them as these demons, which made people more interested in these guys as well. You know, from Chicago, you didn't really know if you caught a DJ Akademiks video at that time. He was painting these guys like they was demons with just little young boys with guns and all that. So you thought that these guys was the top killers and all that. So you was interested in it. You was invested in it. So he did play a part, and some of the stuff that he was talking about was accurate, even though it may be arguably true or not. Who knows? It just is what it is. But Akademiks did play a key role in that drill culture. You know, so he kind of feels a way more about that rather than Durk actually telling him he's going to do an interview and just not doing it yet. And here's where like the optimistic part comes in for me, because Ak explains that Durk didn't say he wasn't going to do it. You know, maybe he's busy, maybe he's doing other things and he'll get to it. And he said that he predicts that him and Durk will actually do an interview within the next 3 months. Now, I don't know if that's his way of trying to manifest it, or maybe he knows something, he's throwing hints out there, or maybe he's just hoping on the star. I don't know. But he also said that Durk told him that no matter what he hears on social media, he actually rocks with him. Like, you know, he has no problem with Ak and he's going to give him an interview. So, I don't know, man. Let's see. But like I said, it do seem like Ak is kind of taking up for Lil Durk, like I explained earlier. And Ak better be careful, because just because Durk said he rocks with him and promises him an interview, that don't mean that he actually rocks with him. You see what I'm saying? He could be actually rocking him to sleep for many reasons. And not just Durk, that goes with anything. Like, a person will sit there and tell you something just because you want to hear it, or they tell you something just to stay in your good graces, or just to hold you in limbo, but that don't mean they're going to actually come through with what they say. You know, he could just be rocking him to sleep and saying that Ak's good, or he rock with Ak just so Ak don't talk bad about him in public, or, you know, go too crazy on him like Ak do most other artists. You never know, man. Or maybe he's just keeping him in limbo, like I said, to be in good graces. Who knows? But what Ak gotta remember is this also, man. There's people that still feel a way towards him for that War in Chirac platform back in the day, right? People wanted Ak's head at one point in time because they didn't know who he was. They felt he wasn't from the city. He's speaking on things he didn't know about. You know, the typical. And, you know, contrary to belief, some people say that that platform actually was the reason behind some of the drills that was happening, quote, allegedly. You know, and like some thought it was entertaining, but others started to feel away. They felt like he was saying too much. So some people may still be carrying that grudge to this day. Who knows? Chief Keef could be one of those same people. He could probably remember the War in Chirac videos and probably be mad at, or just not really on the same type of time with Akademiks for that same reason. Who knows? I'm not saying that's the actual fact or what's going on. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to put out many possibilities of what could be the reason that Chief Keef probably not rock with him, or other people probably not rock with him. You know, it just is what it is. And let's be real, Chief don't do a lot of interviews anyway, man. So I don't know. He's very strange when it comes to doing interviews, and you know, he just is what it is. But that's what makes Chief Chief. So it is what it is, man. But other than that, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. Do y'all think that Durk is actually going to give Akademiks that interview? And if he does, how do you feel that interview is going to go? How do you feel about a DJ Akademiks and Lil Durk interview? Are you here for it, or are you not, man? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.